Happy Star Wars Day. And I'm a little annoyed because you can't really see my shirt, but I am dressed for the day. So, and I'm not going to do this the whole time, so I just wanted to make sure that you could see that. Um, so today I want to talk a little bit about um, my my husband's sarcasm and how that has impacted our marriage, I guess. So, for those who don't know my husband, like I said, he's a very sarcastic man, and this has been an issue for us. I use that term loosely for our whole marriage. So, what two things did I do, have I done that helped me deal with that better? I've been talking about them this whole time. I worked on my self esteem and I worked on my boundaries. So, keeping in mind self esteem, this is feeling less than, this is feeling better than, and this is in the middle, healthy in the middle. I'm enough and I matter in spite of my flaws and imperfections. Um, I I have worth because I was born, period. I always like to add in that period. I have worth because I was born versus less than, however we berate ourselves, and better than, however we look down on others. I'm enough and I matter. When you add that in with boundaries, so like I said, my husband's sarcasm, I put up my protective boundary. Um, I didn't do that a lot historically. So I currently put up my protective boundary of I don't have to absorb this. This is his thing. I mean, he thinks he's being funny. And if he was standing right here, by the way, he would say, false, I am funny. So he thinks he's being funny. I don't have to absorb everything. I don't have to get as bothered. When you are using your healthy boundaries and you are in healthy self esteem, you are not as ruffled by those things around you, by people around you. You are not as bothered by things. I do like the word ruffled. So the second thing I want to mention is what impact did that have on our marriage? And I'm guessing you can guess what impact it had. It has shifted things. I'm not as mad at him as frequently. We're human. I still get mad at him sometimes. Not as frequently, and it's not always about the sarcasm anymore because I am learning to not get as ruffled by that because I'm using my protective boundary, which I can help you learn. I can help you develop and I can help you learn. What's the bad news? So the good news, which I didn't even say there was going to be good news. Surprise. The good news is this is something you can do for you that you don't have to wait for your partner to make any changes on their end. I have spent, 10,000 years begging my husband to stop the sarcasm, and that just wasn't happening. I am empowered to do my own work of self esteem and boundaries, and now I am no longer as bothered by him. So the good news is this is work that you get to do that makes you non reliant on somebody else. And the bad news is, for real, it doesn't happen overnight. The first day that you try to put these things in practice, awesome, and keep doing it, and practice makes perfect. And the first day, it just doesn't do much for you. The first day, you don't feel better. The first day, your boundaries fail. As you do it, as you practice more and more, your boundaries become more firm and malleable at the same time, believe it or not. So malleable means the good stuff comes in and the bad stuff stays out. It's not all or nothing. And firm, like I said, means they're in place. And I know my boundaries and I use my boundaries. So the more practice you get at it, the easier and more natural and more innate it becomes. And yes, putting healthy self-esteem and boundaries into practice together will shift everything. And to be redundant, you will not be as ruffled by other people and you will quite simply be happier. You will be happier. Can you imagine a life where you're not as ruffled by other people? So that was what I wanted to jump in with today on Star Wars Day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I guess if you're on the West Coast, it's earlier. It's 5 o'clock here. And as always, go to yourdecisiondiva.com to get my free guide on healthy self-esteem and decision making. All these are decisions that we make. And I still want to point out that my guide has a different lens of self-esteem, not just the less than and better than, a whole different lens, and trust me, it will blow your mind. It's where you've never thought about self-esteem before. And then on the last page has my contact information, so reach out to me to do more work in that same direction. Have a good day. Bye.